games. Whoop, let's go. Hursty games, and this how we do. Now it's time we team up.
Hey there guys, welcome back to Hursty Games. Now I know a lot of you guys who play FIFA are slowly but surely falling out of love with FIFA Ultimate Team if you haven't already, and a lot of those people are deferring and jumping over to Career Mode. Now Career Mode is something I've played throughout the year. I do love playing Career Mode. We have a Career Mode series that we do with QPR. I feel like I have a bit of knowledge with some of the Career Mode stuff, and I have a bit of knowledge about some cheap wonder kids you can sign in your career modes to make it nice and fun. Have some good players that you can either use from the get-go, train them up and sell them on for big money to get some other players in, or of course if you can just train up and have them in your squads for the long term and have some real cheap beasts you picked up really but not very much money, and you've had that sort of enjoyment of training them up yourselves and having them in your starting squads. Now I'm not going to look at anything to do with youth systems. These are purely players that you can purchase in the first season in career modes, train them up and have them be a nice decent rating, and like I said, either go up in value for you or just go up in rating for you to play in your squads. Now the only thing I've gone with this, like I said, is that they are available in the first season and they start off less than 70 rated, so the price of them isn't too crazy. What I've basically done is I've moved Liverpool to the Irish League, so basically we're looking at people that don't mind playing in off leagues, because some players don't like moving to smaller leagues. So if you're in League 2, there are some people that don't want to move from the Premiership to League 2 or the Bundesliga to League 2. So I've gone to an off league so that we can see people that are happy to move to those leagues. Also, they're going to be available either on a release clause, so you can pick them up for a price even if the club aren't willing to sell them, or you can negotiate a price and pick them up for an X amount. I'm going to show you guys the players, how they start, how much I picked them up for roughly, so you guys have an idea of how much you're roughly going to be spending. And then what I'll do is I'll simulate through a season and we'll see how high they go up in a season, and I'll explain the sort of average ratings they can all hit. But without further ado, let's get into the players, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Okay, so we're going to start off in goal, and first of all I'm going to show you Nick Shinton. Now Nick Shinton is Belgium. He plays for Club Brugge. He starts off at 62 rating, 18 years of age, and he is somebody that we can pick straight away. They're not willing to sell him, so he's got an initial value of just under 500,000. You can pick him up on a release clause of 960,000, so that's nice and straightforward for you. And honestly, the main thing here is that yes, okay, he's worth $500,000. You're picking him up for $1 million. Goalkeepers are really easy to train and really good to get up nice and quickly. So I guarantee you, within a month or two, he'll be at that $1 million value anyway. So he's definitely worth a pickup for 960,000. At right back, we have got Steven Sessegnon. Now, Steven Sessegnon can play right back and centre back. He is a 19-year-old Englishman from Fulham, 64 rating initially. He's got £800,000 as his value, and his wages are about $4 grand. So maximum you're going to be picking him up for is about £1 million. So again, a very good pickup, and again, somebody you can pick up and train nice and easily as well. Now our first centre back, we have got Nathan Collins, 18 years old. He is Irish and he plays for Stoke City. Now he's 63 rated, and you can pick him up for between 650 and 820,000. Honestly, I think you could probably pick him up for around 600,000. Again, I'll show you guys how much I picked them all up for when I actually go through and buy them all. But he's on low wages and very good. Now we'll get to the other centre-back in a second, because it's actually somebody who plays a different position, but I would play in centre-back. But we're going to go to the left-back. He can also play right-back. His name is Aaron Hickey. He is Scottish, 17, and plays for Hearts. And he is 64 rated and a £750,000 value initially. Again, incredibly low wages. You're looking at, again, around 750,000 for a really good player. Now onto our defensive midfielder, I've gone with James Sands. Now he can play centre, defensive midfielder, or centre-back. 19 years old, he's American and plays for New York City. Now I would use this guy as a CDM because he's only 5'11". He starts off at 66 rated, so one of the higher rated players that you're going to be picking up, and he is somebody you're going to have to pick up on a release clause. So his release clause is 2.35 million. Now that is a fair little bit amount. He's one of the most expensive, again, one of the higher rated players, but I promise you this guy is very much worth it. I managed to get him up to like 80 or like in a season. But I was training him quite a lot throughout the season, but I was using him in, it was like a League 1 team or something, and he went up absolutely crazy. So I highly recommend James Sands. Okay, now on central defensive midfielder that's going to be playing centre-back, he can play CDM, CM and centre-back, but he's 6'2", which is why we're putting him in centre-back, is Simon Som. Might be saying that wrong, but he is from Switzerland and he plays for FC Zurich. Now he is 62 rated and you can pick him up for just over £500,000, and again, a low wage, and again, he's happy to move in that first season, which is huge, and he's a really good player. Now we look at our wingers. Our right mid is Thomas Suslov, who is a Very, very interesting name, but he's from Slovakia, 17, and plays for FC Groningen, is how I'm going to say it, probably wrong. 60 rated, making him one of the lower rated players on this list. But he's very, very good and very, very cheap, but you do have to pay the release clause. So he's worth about 400,000, but like the keeper, pick him up for 980, so just under that million mark, and I guarantee you by the end of the season, he'll be at least worth that. If you train him, you can get him to that in a month or two with ease. On the left mid, you have got Darko Cherlinov. He is from North Macedonia. He's 19, and he plays for VfB Stuttgart. He is 62 rated, and you can pick him up again on a release clause of 1.3, so just over that million mark. But he's worth about 600,000. Again, you can get him up very, very quickly with a little bit of training, and honestly, again, a very good player with high potential. As a cam, we've got an Argentinian 18-year-old who can play cam or centre mid, so good for different like formations, whatever you want to play. But you've got Avilio Cardozo, who plays for Racing Club, 61 rated. This is one of the players that I would look to sell on because he goes very, very quickly and he can go for quite a lot of money. So just over $1 million, you could pick him up on the release clause, but you can get him to 2-3 million by the end of the season easily. If you're willing to wait a season or two with a little bit of training, you can easily get him to sell for 10+ million and make a big, big pickup at cam. But this guy's really good to start off with. Now on to our two strikers. We're going to start off with a Ukrainian 18-year-old who plays for Shakhtar Donetsk. He is Danilo Sikan, is how I'm going to pronounce that. 63 rated. You can pick him up for just under £750,000. You might have to go nearer that 900k mark, but again, relatively good wages, 18 years old, and very good potential. And last but not least, to finish off our list, we have got Daryl Dyke, 19-year-old striker from America, plays for Orlando, 61 rated. He is on a release clause, £1.2 million. Again, just like the other ones, you can train them or even just let them do their thing, and he will get to that value in no time. Very, very good and on very low wages. Now, I'm going to go and pick up all of these players. I'm going to go and buy them, and I will start showing you how much they cost me, what wages they're on, and then we'll get into showing you how they train and how they get up nice and quickly after a season or two. Okay, so all the players have been picked up, and they've all been picked up for their market value or less. The only player I think that was actually ever so slightly over was the right mid, I think it was. I'll see him as soon as I see him. I'll know who it was. Oh no, I think it was Cherlinov. I think he was valued, and I had to pay like 200,000 more. That was it. So everyone was at the value, their minimum that you could see what it actually said as their market value, and the wages there that I just scrolled through as well, you could see too. So what I'm going to do, put these guys into the starting 11. I'm going to sell as many of the Liverpool players as I can, and these guys will be our starting 11 for this season. You guys will hopefully see how much they go up. So I think it's safe to say this can go down as the weirdest Liverpool 11 you'll ever see in your life. And I do want to state very quickly, the players on the bench, apart from Milner, I'm sorry Milner, I'm going to have to take you off, mate. They themselves actually do also have incredibly good stats. So all of these youngsters you can see here, from Lewis all the way to Glatzel, I should say, sorry, do also have incredibly good potential, but they're already at Liverpool and they're a little bit more pricey with wages and stuff because they're at Liverpool. So I didn't include them, but they're good too. But these are our 11 players. Let's do an entire season with these guys. Let's see how they improve. Okay, so we are currently in January, and you can see the player ratings right now. You can see who has been going up, and they've gone up pretty darn well. Now, one thing I do want to say, Sands has been injured for 3 months. So Sands has not had much game time at all. I think he's played about 6 games for us, but everyone else has been in the starting lineup unless they've been suspended or had a couple of short knocks, those kind of things. They've just played through fitness, whatever it may be. Now, obviously, I have been training players as well on and off. Shinton's been getting a fair bit of training. He's gone up to 71, which is a huge, huge boost. Dyke got a little bit of training. Sessignon had a little bit. And now I'm currently training the wingers and the cam. But I haven't even touched Collins, Som, Hickey, Sands, or Sikan, and they've all gone up as well on their own accord. So these guys do go up on their own, but if you train them, they really can go up quickly. So I just wanted to show you like a little halfway point. They're doing really, really well, already getting up plenty in rating. Now I'll catch you up at the end of the season. Okay, so our first season has come to an end. We've literally just finished the play in the last game. So there's a few months where we could still do some training, but I want to show you guys how these guys have gone up. So you can see that Shinton has gone up by 10, which is a massive boost. Hickey has gone up by 5. We've also had Collins go up by 5. Now, Collins, I have not trained once, so Collins has gone up completely on his own. that 5 rating. So would have gone up even more if I trained him. Sessegnon has gone up 5 as well. Som has gone up 6, and I've trained him for about a month, so he was probably gone up about 5 on his own as well. Sand's gone up 3, bear in mind A, 0 training, B, missed half the season. So if he wasn't injured, he'd be at least a 70 rating by now, but sadly that's how it happened. We've got Cherlanov, who has gone up to a 67, so up by 5 as well. You've also got, we've got to find the next guy. Cardozo's gone up by 7, that was with a bit of training to help him out. Suslov has gone up by 8, which is massive and really, really good. And then we have our 2 strikers. We've got Sikan, who has gone up by 4, and we also have Dyke, who has gone up by a massive 9. So you can see these guys have gone up very well in the training, and have gone up very well on their own as well. They've done absolute bits. I loved using these guys, obviously just getting them in and just seeing them train, seeing them go up on their own like accord, but also being able to train them up as well. Now these guys would have gone up even more if you only signed 1 or 2. So basically if you picked up say 3 for example, and you'd had say for example the goalkeeper, you have 2 training sessions on him. Let's say you picked up Dyke and you had some working on shooting for him, and let's say you picked up, for example, we'll just say Sands as a CDM, and you had 2 training sessions on him. They would have gone up, if you just trained them for the whole season, they'd have gone up. I mean, the keeper went up 10, and we trained him for like 3 months, and then he did the rest himself. Like, the keeper would have been about 15 plus minimum. Sands probably would have gone up by nearly 10, and the striker probably would have gone up by about 15 as well. So if you sign a couple, if you haven't got loads of money and you can't buy like a whole new squad like we did here, you can sign yourself a couple of players, train them up good and proper, and you'll get them massively high rated in no time. The final thing I want to show you is how much they've gone up in regards to value. Value is one thing we talked about a lot, so you can see plus 447% on value on our goalkeeper, which is huge, plus 60% on Hickey, which is very, very good indeed. Collins has gone up by 146%, again, very nice indeed. Sessegnon 137%, Som by 204%. Sands has only gone up by 25. Again, with training, he'd have gone up a lot more. I'm very sure of that. Cherlanov up by 126%. So you can see the general gist of this. You can see how much these guys are going up by 223% for Cardozo, which is fantastic. Suslov gone up by 193%, which is incredible as well. We've got Sikan up by 71% and Dyke up by a massive 440%. So you can see the value of these guys do go through the roof. They cost me, I think it was £10.5 million just on initial purchases. By the looks of all that, we're selling them for probably about 30, if not more than that, £1 million if we sold all of them in that first season as well. So that is absolutely incredible. I highly recommend these players, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. Something a little bit different to the kind of thing we do on the channel, but I want to help out people who maybe are a bit new to career mode and have, you know, they've jumped ship from the Ultimate Team hype and they're playing career mode while the game's kind of very much in its latter stages. So hopefully this has helped you. Of course, if it has, then please do leave a like on the video and let me know that you enjoyed it. Of course, comment down below if you want any other career mode style videos, tips, tricks, advice, all that kind of stuff. Just let me know. I'll happily help if I can, and make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We're trying to hit 5k as soon as we can. It would be amazing if we can get there soon. But for now, guys, I want to say a massive thank you for watching. I've been Tom. You guys have been awesome, and I'll see you soon. Look after yourselves, and of course, wash your hands. See ya.
Let's go. Hursty Games, and this how we do. Now it's time we team up. Check them online, you might catch them playing FIFA. Hey, yeah, you know we keep it live. Make sure to give a like and subscribe. Gaming channel, what's the best one? Keep it hella dope, hella fresh, huh? Yeah, Hursty Games, tune in. Even told my grandmama, sister, and my best friend. You might want to check them if you want to be entertained. You already know the name. Check us out, Hursty Games. Hey, whoop. Make sure to give a like and subscribe.